Hi, and thanks for watching another instructional video for CSCI 1300. In this video, we will talk about nested arrays, or arrays beyond one dimension, including two-dimensional arrays and beyond. Previously, we have talked about one-dimensional arrays being a collection of elements that have a series of indexes in order for us to traverse across the size of those containers and find the values stored within. With 2D arrays, we're adding an additional array on top of the array that we had before. And now what we can do is we can represent that with another series of indexes representing either the column of information or the row of information. So the columns would be the number of entries on a particular row, and it's what you would normally traverse with a one-dimensional array. Rows now take the place of counting the number of one-dimensional arrays that we are aggregating together to make multi-dimensional arrays or matrices. We can see the declaration for a two-dimensional array here. We have to define some element data type. We have to give the array some name, and we need to use brackets for both rows and columns. So we're going to have two different sizes for this. The size of the rows and the size of the columns for a particular set of entries. And optionally, we can go ahead and assign values to a two-dimensional array by, instead of using a single set of brackets, we're now using brackets of information within a larger set of brackets. And you can see here that what we are doing is we are aggregating 4 entries per inner set of brackets, which would be the amount of entries that you would see on a given row, and the entries that you would see inside of the brackets would be located at a certain column within the array. If we look at VS Code, let's talk about how to actually implement this idea. I've declared 2 variables here called row and column and set them to the size of 4. I'm then going to declare an array with 2 bracket locations and use those variables to define the row and the column of A. So I've just declared a 2D array by doing this. And we could just as easily do another array in B of the same size using just a straight integer or a hard-coded value. In order to assign information into an array, we can do something similar. I'm going to use constant values here to kind of simulate an Olympic scoreboard. And what we're going to do is use an array called counts based on the constants country and medals. And you'll see here that the countries represent the row, and the arrays within that, or the elements within that particular row, represent the medals for a given country. And you can see here that we set the equal sign equal to a large set of brackets, just like we would with a single array. So if we looked at this for a second from another angle, we can see here that this looks pretty much just like we would set a regular array. However, what we have done is we have moved this down and allowed ourselves to aggregate information within based on the entries that we will add to a particular row for a given country. That's all for intro to nested arrays. Thanks and happy coding.